Hi there, listeners.
Today we're brought to you by Yokkao, the world's most prolific Muay Thai brand.
That's right. We're so excited to be teamed up with Yokkao to bring you the best Muay Thai gear.
Honestly, mate, as a coach, it took me a long time to find pads that don't wear down after a few months, but my Yokkaos are staying strong.
It's the worst when you get kicked in the forearms with bad pads.
Yeah, it is the worst, especially when you have to do it every day.
If there's one thing you should never compromise on with martial arts, it's the gear that keeps you safe.
100%, mate. And Yokkao has the absolute best quality of training gear, gloves, shorts, and clothes as well.
Not only that, it's the best value for the quality of the equipment too.
Also, Yokkao are offering you 10% off any purchase by using code CombatCasuals10 at the checkout.
That's Combat Casuals 10 with no spaces.
Get yourself some top quality Muay Thai gear and save some cash. Hello and welcome to the Combat Casuals podcast.
If you're a fan of mixed martial arts and all things related, stick around.
We'll be talking everything from past and future events
to harnessing your inner chi and everything in between.
We want to provide you with the opportunity to get involved in the ultimate fighting conversation.
We've been friends for too long now,
and we always have strange conversations.
So we thought, hey, why not make a podcast?
I'm Dustin.
I'm Ian.
And we're the Combat Casuals.
But no, it's all good now. I can hear you good now.
Awesome.
It's
Cool.
cool.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello. Yeah. So
A proper presenter or a radio host or something.
Who, me?
does?
Or...
Yeah.
I sound like a radio presenter.
Yeah. Like a proper, I feel like I'm on the radio already.
I'll have to do it like one of those really pretentious ones who's like, "Hi, welcome to today's podcast." And we've got a
At
great
least I
guest.
can understand your accent.
Yeah. I'll make sure to we've been testing it to see how we talk, because sometimes I talk into the mic and it sounds really awful because you can hear all my T's and P's and stuff, and it's like, oh god, it's right in your ear. It's just, it's that sort of sounding like god.
No, it's all clear and loud. I'm happy with it.
Amazing.
I understand it very clear.
Yeah,
Good,
cool.
man.
Well,
But
thank
you
you
know
for
what?
joining us.
the thing that isn't clear is the difference still between tahini paste and hummus. You didn't explain it at all.
Oh, so is that what I came into the middle of?
Yeah, Ahmed was explaining it and just.
I can't remember.
did
Let me Google it.
I just jumped in and went, I love tahini paste. I love it.
So hummus is chickpeas. That's I'm sure about. But
Doesn't hummus have tahini paste in it? I've made hummus before, and it's you blend some chickpeas with tahini paste and some other seasonings and stuff.
I have no idea. Basically, Ian, it came about because I'm eating falafels and goddamn, they're dry. Not all falafels, just these ones I got from Aldi.
So I found out. So tahini is basically a ground sesame. So
Ah.
sesame and hummus is chickpeas.
Right. Yeah. So that makes
They look similar, same color,
yeah.
same texture. But I think chickpeas or hummus is rough. You can feel.
The grains.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's right.
That makes sense, and that would
Because
make
it
sense
comes
why when I
from,
made it.
grounded chickpeas.
Yeah. That would make sense when I made it. To put it in. Yeah.
They I would say 90% they taste the same. That's why a lot of us use hummus instead, because it reminds us of tahini.
Mm.
But if you taste both, tahini is way tastier. It's
Make me
a lot
some.
better. I can make it easy.
Yes,
I'm
please.
really good at it. Yeah.
You're very good at it. You're setting a standard. You've got to be good now.
Well, actually, I'm good at it. Yeah. You will love it. Okay, I'll make you some.
Yeah, I totally recommend it as well.
Please.
Dustin. I like tahini. I think
Sweet.
it's really
Well,
good.
First,
Yeah,
just
tastes really
quickly, so hummus, well, I don't know, I don't really have plain hummus, but when you get Moroccan or something hummus, it's always got raisins in it, and I hate raisins. And sultanas
Do you?
and dates.
Where'd you
I
buy
hate
your
it, man.
hummus from?
With
Mate,
hummus.
You've bought a grape or a plum or whatever, and you've removed the best bit, the bit that makes it juicy and delicious as a fruit. You've removed that and just given me a wrinkly old bag.
Where'd you buy your hummus
Raisin
from?
is so nice.
Because I love
Aldi.
raisins. I love
Oh, I hate it.
Better than chocolate.
Better than-
Come on,
No,
man.
no.
I don't like chocolate.
I'm sorry, mate. No. However, you put those hands together, chocolate raisins. That's
Nah,
a great.
no,
Ah,
no,
Like,
no.
I love the mixture, yeah, yeah, the
yeah,
combination. Raisin
yeah.
chocolate,
I'm
okay.
with you, man. I'm
But
sorry,
if
Dust.
I have
You're
to
outvoted.
choose a raisin.
Listen, if you want people to take you seriously, Ahmed, you can't you can't go around saying raisins are better. It's a wrinkly old bag that's void of all of its delicious fruit.
Raisins are still
Fruit,
good.
but I don't like sweet stuff. What's wrong with that?
Mm. Nah, you're definitely wrong there, Ahmed. Like,
I like
Yeah.
it, but I don't like it too much.
That's,
It's
that's
like
fair
I
enough.
appreciate one piece of chocolate, yeah, but the whole bar, maybe no.
The whole
I
bar.
mean, but it depends depends on the bar, because like if we're talking like a Cadbury's Giant Bar, then yeah,
It
that'd
does
be
depend on
crazy
the
if you
bar.
ate a whole one of them. That would be nuts. Like, but I was gonna say, where are you getting that hummus from? Because Moroccan hummus, where I get it, like Co-op or something, that doesn't have raisins in. Like,
See, get to Aldi, man. Aldi.
what-
It's
do they
a
have a top hummus
supermarket of culture. You need to get.
Really?
I always get the
Very good
sweet
quality.
chili one.
Oh no, caramelized onion all the way.
No.
Nah.
I'll be on the tahini hype though. Ahmed, make me some sweet chili tahini. I don't know.
Oh, you
I-
wanna? You want
extra.
chili? Okay.
No, you just make whatever, man. Whatever you think. You
I
know
will
me.
give you my own, and then you can add whatever you want or you like.
I won't add anything. I'll just eat it as you intended me to eat it, and I'll love it.
Fine. But you will love it. You will just get bread and dip it in the bread all
We're-
night long.
We're officially 5 minutes in, and we've not introduced anybody.
No, we haven't.
We spent 5 minutes talking about hummus.
Are we recording already? Is that all in the podcast?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, recording.
Oh,
we've
about
just been
Ramadan.
sat talking for 5 minutes.
I
Okay.
I like the idea. Now I get what Dustin told me today. It's just
It's just nonsense.
I get it. And I
Right.
like it.
So hang on. I bet. Okay. So everyone, you know me and Ian. So
Hello.
today we're joined by my friend Ahmed. I started today calling him Bill. Ahmed El-Beltagi. That went to Bilta, which went to Bill. So here's
Yeah.
Bill. And today we're going to be talking about Ramadan. And hopefully Bill's going to fill us in a little bit and also tell us what it's like to go to the gym and train Muay Thai and just other challenges you face during Ramadan and how he's finding that.
I'd just like to say before we jump in, like to that subject, because we are going to get head first in. It's super impressive that you're doing it, Ahmed, as well as training. Like, I think that's like, I have so many students where I work and I speak to them who are currently doing that too, and I say to every one of them as well, it's crazy impressive.
To be honest, I just realized that you just can. Every single thing I thought I'm not gonna able to be like I'm not gonna do it. I won't be able to do it. It's too hard. It's difficult. Every single thing I've said that about it, I just ended up managing doing it somehow. So you can do anything. Well, I can say, you can do anything.
Do you think it's a lot of a mental thing then when people think,
It's
I
all,
can't?
yeah, it's all mental. Yeah. Because I just started. I never trained during fasting before in my life. I always go after eating, and it's the first time this year, and I thought when I was thinking about it, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be like starving, like I'm gonna be dehydrated. There is no way I'm gonna be like look like like a steak. I will be like not pumped. I will look small, and I won't be able to lift the weight I'm used to. I won't be happy or satisfied about myself. So don't do it. Okay. And I just went once, the first time, and I just okay. It's working. I was okay. Yeah, dry, but I'm not gonna die. But I was dry. I can feel it, but it's not that hard. And weight wise, I was carrying my normal weights actually, and I look okay. And then I was like, actually, it's doable. And then next day I went again, and then again and again. And now I just go before and not just train, as Dustin said. I do my Thai session with it. I do cardio after I train as well. So I do like an extra hard work, not just a normal sessions, like proper hard sessions that I didn't manage to do when I was actually not during Ramadan. So it's all in here. It's all in the brain.
That's interesting. So do you think you've improved since being on Ramadan then?
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember first day I went in, I was like so tired. I couldn't like. I finished a quick one and went home. But now, literally, today I stayed 3 hours in the gym.
Damn.
Yeah, 3 hours.
You were there for ages, man. Because you did the session with me,
Yeah,
and then we trained some back, and then you stayed even after I left.
yeah,
Yeah, it was impressive.
yeah. And then I went to food shopping after. I cleaned the house and the toilets and the kitchen after, and here I am.
Wow.
Still alive. Still going.
Still alive, still kicking.
But it's fine. Like it's you know what I mean. Like you know, I can survive.
So Ahmed, you said this was your first year still training during Ramadan. How different do you think it would be, like back home in Egypt, like with it being so much hotter? Do you still think you'd be able to train and do the same things, or do you think it's just because it's like cooler over here?
So it's the first time to train during fasting, but I always train during Ramadan. Not during Ramadan, I always train. But the first time to train during fasting before.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Before breaking the the fasting. Back home is quite. I mean, training back home is very different from here anyway, in everything, in all aspects, not just Ramadan. If you're gonna speak about Ramadan, I would say back home, if you are working, I didn't actually manage to work back home and train during Ramadan to see how is it like. Before when I left or before leaving, I used to I didn't used to work. I was like still, in that phase when I'm like, doing things and studying exams, blah blah blah. So I wasn't actually properly working. So during Ramadan, I was chilled during the day. We got air conditioners back home, so we just, sit in very nice, chilled. So it wasn't that hot. Okay.
Yeah.
But I found more difficult here because obviously I work as well, longer hours and longer, fasting hours. So it's way difficult here, I would say.
Well,
But
I bet your shifts at work gets really in the way.
yeah. But I think I used to. I think I went maybe twice or maybe 4 times, 5 times in general to train in Egypt before when I'm fasting, and it wasn't that bad because I used to stay very late, 6, 7 in the morning, and sleep and woke up, around like 3 or 4, whatever, and then I go to the gym, as if I slept and went up in the morning before work here, so I'm still fine, have energy and go to the gym, and then 2 hours later I'm eating. So
Yeah.
it's back home for me. It was easy because I wasn't working back then.
Yeah,
I used
sure.
to, sleep and sleep all day when it's hot. And as I told you, we got air conditions everywhere, so it's when you're inside indoors, it's not hot at all.
Do you notice a difference, like doing Ramadan here or back home, like depending on how many people around you are also taking part? Does that make a difference? Like when your friends here aren't taking part in
Yeah.
Ramadan and at home?
To be honest, I don't feel Ramadan here because Ramadan for us back home, it's not just fasting. It's like a holiday. It's a month, 30 days of a holiday. It's like there is a lot of things that we do in Ramadan. You can feel it. You got all these lightings and stuff in the streets. People go and pray in the mosques. And there is a vibe that you feel it. Every 2 3 days we'll have all the families, not just a small family like my parents and my brothers. No, like a bigger family. Like 20 people, 30 people having like a big, open buffet of everything you can imagine, and just every 2 or 3 days,
That sounds nice.
together and
great.
eat together, and the food. I'm not gonna speak about the food. Everything you can imagine in your life is there on the table, and if you take a piece of each, you will be full. tiny piece of each, each plate there, you'll be full. So it's not just fasting. So here I don't feel it. Here I'm just fasting.
Sure.
So I'm only
Yeah.
feeling the hard bit of it. But
Ah.
all the family gathering, all the vibes there, I don't feel it. So and I miss it. It's been 3 years now. I haven't been
Yeah.
Ramadan. But
Oh
here's,
man, you can come to my house and have some food.
are you gonna fast
Well, at 8:30 you can come
and
round.
eat around 9 o'clock? You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would say I would offer here as well, but I live in London, so that's a long way away. That's
No, Ramadan in London is better than York.
Yeah. In fact, my flatmate's partner is on Ramadan, and yeah, and there's a more of an atmosphere in London, I guess, because there's a bigger
Exactly.
community. There's a bigger community here.
You just go to like what's Edgeware Road, and
Yeah.
you have shisha, and
Yeah.
you kind of feel it there.
Yeah, it's as I said before, we have a lot of students as well where I work, where they're on Ramadan as well, and it just, even in the building, we put on special events for students. So when people are breaking fast, we have stuff ready for them. So it is a bit more of a community in that sense. But what I was going to ask, I guess, is do you think, as you were saying, you don't feel it as much here. Do you think the training, this being the first time you've done that alongside it, as you were saying, do you think that's helped that feeling at all? And do you think it's helped it feel a bit more like not a challenge, but something new to add to that aspect of it?
You mean the training during fasting?
Yeah. Do you think it's helped, I guess, because you were saying it doesn't feel the same with being away from home, which I guess nothing's going to substitute that feeling, but do you think training's helped to give it an extra element this time?
No. Training is not gonna make me feel like home at all. It's
No.
It's not related. It helps that it made me feel like happier and more.
I guess that's what I mean. Do you feel like a bit more of an achievement with doing training alongside of it?
Achievement, happiness. The same effect you get when you go to the gym, but even better.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No way you can go after, because it's after you've eaten, you feel like I'm heavy, and and with the gym, close at 10, it's quite challenging because you wanna eat and actually wait for 2 hours. Ideally, you wait for 2 hours and then go to the gym, which is so it's not really. And I wanna enjoy my food time. Not waste 2 hours in the gym. I wanna enjoy it, sit, watch something, eat, drink, and drink. And actually, to be honest, I don't think there is a difference between going before or after.
Yeah.
I mean, after is better, but not a much difference that I would give that up and just go after when I just eating and feel bloated and So it's not big difference, I would say. No big difference.
No, that makes sense. And I guess another thing I was just thinking there in terms of when you were talking about your eating and breaking the fast, is there anything particularly now that you don't have as much, that you only have that time to eat, that your diet is like changed to in regards to fasting and training as well? Has your diet had to form around that as well?
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, my diet changed the Ramadan because you don't have the same amount of time, to eat, and the same amount I used to eat when I'm, not during Ramadan. So I suffered in the first 20 days. I've been pushing myself because I was, I'm trying to. So obviously, the main thing that people think that people lose weight in Ramadan.
Yeah.
That's the main concept that people think it's, if you ask anyone, even people that don't do Ramadan, just, fasting, I'm going to lose weight, So, but actually, so this is a fear that we all, have in our minds. So what I tend to do is just, my target is to maintain my weight and everything as if I've taken a pause. So maintain everything during Ramadan and then come out Ramadan as if I didn't do Ramadan. So that was my initial plan, and actually every Ramadan's plan, just to maintain. Because it's hard to maintain Ramadan. It's not that easy even. But actually, I realized because I obviously to eat the same amount that I used to eat to maintain even,
Mm-hmm.
I had to eat every hour, and I was like literally bloated, heartburn,
Mm.
gastritis. I can feel it during the day. Like I'm sick. I'm tired because I've
Mm.
eaten a lot. Sometimes I feel like nauseous because I've eaten a lot in just 4 or 5 hours, which is it's just wrong. Just to
Mm.
maintain that same calorie intake, or maintain the protein intake, just to keep my body weight.
Yeah.
But I just realized, okay, that's not helping because I don't feel well in
Mm-hmm.
myself. And so why not take Ramadan, which because I believe that Ramadan is a very good time to shred or to lose fat,
Mm-hmm.
or get leaner. And it's doable because you're fasting all day and you only have like 4 or 5 hours to eat.
Mm.
So I'm sure with the very low calorie intake, that is low enough to make you shred, you will be actually happy, not hungry during 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I decided, okay, 10 days, the last 10 days, I'm gonna just do a mini cut in those 10 days, give myself a rest and my stomach a rest, my gastritis a rest, everything a rest, um, and just feel better, to be honest. So
Mm.
yeah, so I just put everything down and put my calorie intake to 1500, with all that cardio and training and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's working very well for me. I feel better. I don't feel hungry because same the food I'm eating now. It's very low amount, yes, but it's
Mm-hmm.
actually filling in those few hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Mm-hmm.
1,500, man. Wow. Like because you're
That's,
quite a big
yeah.
guy. Obviously, people who can't see you. What are you, Ahmed? You're like 6'2" or something, and
Six
you
one.
must be like 85 to 90 kilos.
I wish. I
Oh,
started.
what you're like 85? What are you?
I am now. I think now after starting that mini cut, I think I'm 84 now or
Oh,
something.
oh, I wasn't far off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but before Ramadan I was just after 85, I guess.
Like what? 1,500 is not much. Like my partner is on 1,500, and she's 5'2" and like 54 or something kilo. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
1,500 is low. And when you
That's
said that,
low.
I was like, did I hear that right?
Do you know what your
1,500?
maintenance
200,
calories
like
are, Ahmed?
1,500 calories, and plus what exercise I'm doing as well. So I'm hoping to lose a lot of fat, hopefully.
Mm.
Yeah,
And so yeah, it just makes more sense to do that in Ramadan. Actually, I'm
sure.
being
Yeah,
because I feel healthier now. And with this amount of calories, I'm not feeling weak. And you've seen me training today; it was
yeah.
fine,
Mm.
and it makes it actually more. I got more space to drink more. I think is more beneficial to drink more than eating.
Yeah.
And eating during the 5 hours, like divided between the 5 hours equally, rather than just eating when I break my fast, and just sorry, drink during my, when I break my fast, and then obviously I've been eating, so I don't have any space for drinking, and then before going to sleep I just drink plenty because I feel like I haven't had enough. But obviously, when you drink plenty all the time, you just go to the loo and just pee loads
Mm.
and lose all that fluids. So you're not keeping anything for the next day when you need it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
So it
makes
just
sense.
makes more sense in general.
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
make sense. Do you find
yeah.
not having, I guess, liquid, not being able to drink, is more challenging?
It's very challenging.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very challenging. But to be honest, it's first week. It's so difficult,
Mm,
but you get used to it. You get used to it. Like I know I'm thirsty and I want to drink,
mm-hmm,
but if I'm not allowed to, I'm fine.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's a matter. I feel it more when I train. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
if you put cameras around me, you can see me doing, like trying even to find the saliva to swallow. I'm so dry. I can feel
Mm,
it, especially when I train. When I'm staying at home, I'm dry, but fine. I can live on my own saliva, I say. But when I'm training, I even struggle to find saliva to drink and swallow. and then I can feel so dry.
Yeah.
You will see me in the gym doing that all the time, like I'm trying to find something to like squeeze my glands to find any fluids, but it's I managed, and I'm managing.
Nice one, man. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's really impressive.
Do you often do the thing where you just fill your mouth with water and spit it out again?
You do that
Only when you're
sometimes.
desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are allowed to do that as long as you don't swallow. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
helps sometimes. Yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's just so tempting though. Like, I don't know if that'd make it worse for me. That'd be more tempting.
It's very tempting, but to be honest, I only have done it like twice in the whole month. I don't even remember. Maybe too lazy just to go and have a drink.
Yeah.
In the gym, like just to go all the way, to the toilet to like, just too lazy. But I think I would use it. Yeah, it's tempting, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a thought. Do all of the children have to take part in Ramadan as well? Is there an age you start taking part? Like, do children understand what they're doing and why? Or
Yeah, very good question. Very good question. So basically, it's like praying or any religious really activity. You start, grow up seeing you doing it, and then you start, I would say, introducing all these activities to them, step by step. Like, let's say, I would say 6 years old, they can start, you know, trying, you can start praying, I would say, like just mimicking you, what you're
yeah.
doing, not properly praying, but just doing what you're doing. Like, okay, let's go and pray. You will be like doing it
Mm.
properly, and they will like playing around you, but trying to mimic what you're doing. So this is just a start, and like next year, we'll be actually starting, because by that age as well, they start to know Quran and read Quran, and actually
Mm.
memorizing things from Quran that you use to pray with. So one by one, they will start mimic you, and actually mimic you more to the extent they will be actually doing it. Same
Right.
with
Okay.
fasting. Around 6 7 years old, you will be like, say, oh, you can start fasting, like, okay, you will start fasting like until midday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to one, like 7 years, 8 years, maybe like until like 4 o'clock or something, and so on, and
Yeah.
until they will actually, at some point, they will say, because kids always want to feel they're big and they're grown-ups.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready.
We'll
Yeah.
be like, I want to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we always start with a few hours, and then just to get the feeling of it and the concept, and then after that you'll build up, and they will come to you after that. I want to do it all. I want to do
Hmm.
it like like my father. I want to do it like I want to do it like my big brother.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
a big boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
big boy,
I
I
can
want to
do
do
it.
it
I can
all.
do
I
it.
will be like, are you sure? Yeah, I want to do it, and they will just do it, and just it happened like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's how like, I'm trying to think. Obviously, if it's a slow transition and it's not like, so there's not like there's an age on it. Oh, once every boy turns 16, he
No,
needs to do
no.
it.
It's not
There's
like
no,
I know, like obviously from read a little bit about the Quran and like Muhammad's teachings. I know he said from 7, it's like people should start praying, like children should pray.
Yeah, because
It's
from
not like
7,
that.
yes,
It can be
7
before that, or is it that time?
No, it's around 6 7.
Yeah.
Because that is actually the proper age that kids have. They have like a personality and character, and they have actually opinion about things. So when you tell them like, okay, what we doing? Like, okay, we're praying. Why we praying? Who are we praying for? They start in, they are curious. They ask
Yeah, they
questions.
start getting
So,
interested.
yeah, so they have, I think, well-formed brain to accept things, and not just mimicking them and just doing them, but actually to accept them and understand a little bit of concept behind it. and this is when you start, and this is what you need to start. Nothing else, nothing more.
That's really interesting.
I hope this isn't a rude question, Ahmed. Just tell me
It
to
is
fuck
very
off
rude.
Stop being so rude, Dustin.
Just tell me to fuck off if it is. But so
that is rude if I say that.
What would be the reaction if you either cheated on your fast or just perhaps decided just not to do it? Like, how would your friends and family react?
That's
what would be like the consequence of you just
Yeah.
refusing to fast or cheating?
Have you prepared yourself for this episode then? You got
No.
really good questions. Like,
I'm just thinking as we go.
Yeah, just thinking along. I didn't think about that one, but that is a really interesting question.
It's a very good, interesting question.
Yeah, really. Well done, Dustin. That's a really good question.
What are you going to tell me to fuck off?
Yeah, it's a great question, but fuck off.
So, okay, so fasting obviously is a big thing back home. Because something that more than 90% of the population, they do it. So it's like the opposite here. So when you're fasting, people will be like, oh, wow, because it's not something common here.
No.
Yeah.
So it's the other way around back home. If someone is not fasting, we'll be like, oh, okay. And actually, funny enough, when you see, it's actually funny when you see people eating or drinking during Ramadan, they will make sure, and obviously because we have a lot of Christians around as well.
Yeah.
And they don't do Ramadan, so and they are allowed to eat and drink. So when they and when they eat and drink, they will actually make sure that it's very obvious that they are Christians, so you will not criticize them. So funny,
Right.
Like they wear t-shirts.
You know what I mean? Just not to give them a look, like let's say for example, there is Christian names, okay, and it's very common back home, like let's say George or Peter. They're not Muslim names, they're very Christian names.
Yeah.
So if someone is called Peter, he's Christian. So let's say I'm like going into like an office and you're like eating or something, and you will just make a comment out of the blue to make sure I get that you're Christian. Let's say we'll say, and how how is George and how is Peter, like like any comment or anything that people will get that you're Christian, I will be like, fine, I'm not gonna give you the look or judge here. because if you're Muslim and you're not fasting, it's not a good thing. Because fasting is one of the the fundamental ethics of Islam.
So what would happen? How would people react?
Yeah, would
What
there be
the
a
consequence
consequence?
They will, obviously not a good Muslim, and they'll give you a look. They might actually, when we were kids, let's say we were kids, and we always make fun of each other. Like, are you gonna fast this year or like the previous years? As if you never fasted before, And some kids get really feisty with that. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Of course I'm fasting, So this is how important it is back home. Like, if you're not fasting, people will like either tease you or actually criticize you, or at least gonna give you the look, or look at you normally, but you
so it's
grab
just like
attention. Let's say
consequences.
yeah. It's just if I'm like walking back home in the street in Egypt and I've seen someone eating, even I'm very neutral reaction, you at least I'm gonna look at you like you grabbed my attention by doing that. You know what I mean? And this is the least reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's normal, like it's normal, like something you're not used to because people are fasting. So if I'm seeing someone eating or drinking, of course you're gonna grab my attention, like neutrally, no hard feelings or anything, but at least you're gonna grab my attention. And obviously that differs between other people. Like some people are harsh, some people criticize, some people are gonna like give you the pretty bad look. Some people will be swear at you. It depends on your personality. Some people are crazy. I'm really, you know. So yeah, this is.
Is there like I mean I'm sure there is, but like through just a little knowledge, but is there like extreme circumstances of which it would be culturally acceptable that you'd be like, okay, you can't fast, like, and you shouldn't fast, we'd accept
Yes,
that
there
it's
is.
like
Yes, there is a lot of things that can exempt you from fasting. Okay, so obviously, if you are ill, so let's talk about young people. Let's say if I am today, if I vomit intentionally, that break my fast. If I vomited non-intentionally, that actually didn't break my fast. But obviously, if I vomited a lot or gotten like a tummy bug or gastritis or something, like having a vomiting diarrhea, and obviously I need fluids because I'm actually losing a lot, and there is can affect your kidneys, blah blah blah. So you are ill. So then you don't have to. You can break your fast, and you don't have to fast. If let's say if I've got COVID now, I'm not gonna fast. It's too hard. You got exemption. You don't have to fast. If traveling, because obviously most of these rules was set, was said during the prophet when circumstances are different. They were like living in the desert. They were walking on top of the desert on camels. So things are different. So they say now, and still the rules still apply. If I'm traveling more than 80 kilometers, I don't have to fast. But of course, I still fast because I'm not like traveling in a camel in the desert.
of course,
I travel in a car and I can put, if it's hot, I can put the aircon on. It's not that bad, but I mean, there's still rules. You know. Um, so yeah, if you're ill, if you're old as well and ill or got diabetes and can't control it, so any health problem, you are exempt. You don't have to fast. Okay, and what else can exempt you? Traveling can exempt you. Women during the period, they cannot fast. During those 5 days, they're not allowed to fast. And what else? Can't remember.
Is somebody when they're pregnant, would that also be a factor?
I think pregnancy. No, there is no general rule. If you're pregnant, you can do. But obviously, if you again ill because of the pregnancy, you don't have to fast. You know what I mean? But generally, because you're pregnant, no, I think they can fast.
Okay.
But because of the pregnancy, or pregnancy is not going okay, or for any reason, if she's diabetic and pregnant as well, for any reason, that pregnancy affects her ability to fast, then they don't have to. And if you are not fasting for any of the previous reasons, you're supposed to fast after Ramadan anytime, just to pay, to compensate for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever get people try and like bend the rules? Like here, like for example, with wearing a mask. Like, yeah, some people are medically exempt, but a lot of people just make up a load of shit. Like, I've got this, I've got that, just to not wear a mask. Is that ever a thing that people try and bend the rules to try and get out of fasting, or?
To be honest, like working long shifts in Ramadan is very hard because you work from 8 till 7:30, which basically the whole fasting time. You work in the whole fasting time, and your on call is busy, and especially with this year with masks on is so hard. The mask, if normally I survive 4 hours, without, until I get like start to feel like thirsty. With mask, it's only 1 hour, maybe less.
Yeah.
Just to put a mask on, half an hour, 1 hour later, I'm actually very thirsty. The mask is so, it doesn't go well with Ramadan fasting, and makes it so hard this year, to be honest. But what can we do? And to be honest, and there's I've seen a lot of people don't fast during long hours, and I cannot say it's right or wrong. It's up to them. But if I can do it, anybody can.
Yeah.
And as I told you, it's all in the. So you've got two elements in fasting. I think it's one in the brain. Like if you believe you can do it, you can do it, and you will do it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is always, because it's a religious thing, there's an element of belief and faith and the heart component in it. So I think um, this also plays a very good role in the whole thing, because I can do it mentally, and also I am, you know inside my heart and my belief in my religion, I also can do it.
Yeah.
The two together, you can do it.
No,
Inspiring. I want to go out and do something. I don't know what I want to do, but I
no,
want to do something.
You should
it's
try it.
completely.
All my friends, they tried it, and I had a friend that tried the whole month with me. And it's like any experience. It's like I want to go, like, bungee jumping or skydiving, or it's one of the experiences you have to try.
Yeah. Well, how does that? How do you? I guess. How do Muslims kind of respond to, I guess, people who are non-Muslim doing the Ramadan as well? Is that something that's like
I really,
encouraged?
I think it's really like very good. I really I really respect it and like it,
Yeah.
because as I told you, it's not just a religious thing. Because obviously, people people that my friends that did it, they didn't do it for religious reasons, but they like the concept of fasting. And if you think about it, intermittent fasting, all right? Intermittent fasting, it's the most common diet, routine in the whole world. Like if you Google
Yeah.
it, number one is intermittent fasting,
Mm.
right? How is it different from Ramadan?
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Completely.
hardly. Just shorter periods. Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
Definitely.
you fast, yeah, you fast, and you only allowed to eat in the specific hours, and you fast
Yeah.
the remaining hours.
Yeah.
So it's the same. Of course, you
Yeah.
can drink water, so just add water, but it's same concept.
Yeah.
Just add water.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, it's the same concept for
Yeah,
people
it
who
is. It
do
is.
fasting.
It's very similar.
You
Yeah.
can
No.
do
Completely.
Ramadan for the same concept,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
plus it's really good if you wanna have a really control of yourself. If you wanna, like, challenge yourself and see if you actually can control yourself, because it's a
Mm.
lot. It's a lot to be
Um,
like how much control I've got to do Ramadan, how many things I'm actually gave up in Ramadan, and I'm not doing Ramadan. It's a lot. So it's all
yeah.
about control. Like, like it's like a challenge to yourself. Okay, I'm gonna, like, challenge myself. Like, I'm not gonna do this or this or this. Same thing with Ramadan. I'm not gonna eat
Mm.
or drink, or because we don't only fast from eating or drinking. We fast for a lot of things as well.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up about your non-Muslim friends who were practicing Ramadan. So, a friend and client of mine called Harry, he's doing the same. He's not Muslim, but he's taking part in Ramadan at the moment. And I asked him to record like his thoughts on
Yeah.
taking part in it as well as training during Ramadan. So I'll play that for you now, guys. If you want to have a listen,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
play that. I'll play that now.
So, for me, I'd say like the main reason that something like Ramadan is like so helpful to Muslim people is it's all about gratitude. In particularly in the West, we have like everything we could ever want, like clean water on tap. Like whenever we want, we can have food, any type of food. We can go to the supermarket and buy anything, and I think everybody like takes that for granted. Like literally everybody, at some point. And fasting during Ramadan is something that really gives you, it's like a healthy insight to why you should be grateful, because you never do anything during Ramadan which is really going to put your like health at risk. You're not dehydrating yourself for long enough where it's going to become a major hazard. You're not like, as long as you're eating the right foods in the night, you're not going to be like malnourished as such. So but whilst it's not dangerous, it's still like a challenge, and it can be really challenging at times. And that's why it's so phenomenal for gratitude. Obviously, when you open your fast after iftar, which is the time where we open our fast, it's an amazing feeling of gratefulness and like happiness and joy, because it's been difficult throughout the day to keep to that. As well as that, during Ramadan, it's like the most holy month in Islam. It's an opportunity where you feel like your prayers are heard more, and they mean more as well. When you go through things in your life that you're grateful for, it's more meaningful when you feel like you can truly be grateful for them. It's lots of people. It's easy to say, "Oh, I'm so grateful to have clean water and food," but you get maybe a little bit more of an insight when you're not drinking and you're not eating. Although, of course, the superficial insight, the gratitude aspect is really important. In terms of training, I think obviously the main thing to say is you have to like flip your schedule to, I guess, like for training, like pretty nocturnal. I find, I like working out quite intensely most of the time with my weight training, with cardio, and with any MMA stuff that I'm doing. So I way prefer to do that at night. So I break fast at the moment. It's roughly around like 5-10 past 8. I'll drink water and I'll eat, and I'll look to get into the gym at around like 10:30. I feel reasonably hydrated. I don't feel too hungry, but because of that, I try not to eat loads when I break fast as well. That's like, you don't want to feel like bloated when you're in there. And yeah, in terms of then how I adapt my training, it's important for me to note that like Ramadan isn't something where I'm never doing a fast because I want to like lose weight. I think there are people who definitely do that, and I'm not doing Ramadan to lose weight. But I also think, having said that, you do kind of need to adapt your training, and maybe aiming to bulk is probably not like realistic whilst you're doing it, and it's probably a better time to increase your fitness, lose body fat, maybe work on some of the like small muscles and things that you like usually neglect, or like with MMA stuff, like more like technical stuff. And yeah, so for like the first week so far for me, it's been I've really loved it. It's made me feel really humble and grounded about everything. It's a great feeling, and I think like I'm now probably at the point where I could start doing light exercise during the day if I really wanted to. I could probably go for like a light run, go on the rower for a bit. But the main body of exercise really needs to occur at night. And yeah, you want to drink as much water as you can at night in between sunset and sunrise, where you're allowed to eat and drink. And yeah, get as much of your calorie count in as you physically can in that period. So yeah, that's my perspective on it.
Nice one. So thank you to Harry Round for sending that in. Thoughts, guys?
I think he said it very well. Like I would like he really described it better than most of us, like most of Muslims. Literally, I agree with every single word he said. It's so true, so right. Looks like he knows what he's talking about, and he read about it, or like he it's exactly um what is it for, all the what control, and also for gratitude, and to appreciate things, and also feel for people who can have food. It's he said it all. I totally agree with him, like 100%. And the training part, of course, it's up to him. As I told you, it's a preference, but he's doing it right. He eats not fully, and he goes after like in 2 hours, when he digests. So I agree with that as well. If you can work your hours around it, it's all I would say it's even better. But
Yeah.
it's like the perfect time, but it's not available for all people, or not doable for all people. But I totally agree with him actually.
Yeah.
The reason he's fasting for is really valid, and I really respect him for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
cool
no.
guy. Maybe you'll meet him, Ahmed, because I mean, you came to a grappling class the other day, and he comes to Muay Thai sometimes, but he's more of a grappler. So hopefully you'll get to meet him at some point soon. But he hasn't been to MMA during Ramadan because
Yeah,
obviously he's training late in the evening.
yes,
But I'm sure that
yes.
once it's over, he'll come back
Yeah.
and you can meet him.
So
Hmm.
did you? I don't know. I can remember if you told me his what he's doing again. Does he know someone, a Muslim, someone, or his girlfriend Muslim, or something like that?
I'm
Like
not sure, to be honest. I've met his
he's just doing
partner.
it by himself all of a sudden. Like that's very impressive. Very.
Mm,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just curious. Like who introduced him to that?
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask him that, because I guess, now it's something we're talking about. It's something that's really interesting that other people who aren't Muslim do take part in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that, before we came up with this episode, it's something, I think, as you mentioned at the beginning, culturally in this country, it's just not something that's done regularly by people who aren't Muslim. And to think of it in that sense, you kind of go, oh, that's very unusual to hear that somebody who's not Muslim taking part
Yeah.
in Ramadan. But
Just taking it as a practice, as he's doing it as
yeah,
a practice, as experience, as and it sounds like he's doing it every year.
yeah, it sounds like he's done it like
Yeah.
multiple times, which is
Yeah,
really
like,
interesting,
it's
like
just
really
his
interesting.
routine. It's like
Mhm.
yoga or meditation. It's a practice. I think
Mhm.
that might be a culture or something that we
Mm.
can introduce in the community, really. And obviously, when I hear about him, you heard him, and
Mm.
some people will hear the episode and will be like, oh, okay, we might actually try it, and so on and so
Yeah.
on. And all of a
Mm.
sudden, in 20 years, it might be something like something that or practice that people do normally.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think
Well,
it's
that's the same
something.
way that Christmas is far reaching beyond Christianity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
yeah, exactly,
interesting.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that should be encouraged as well, from the sounds of listening to this conversation and being part of it. Is that I think sometimes there's a lack of cultural understanding, and taking part in something like Ramadan, if you're not Muslim, helps you to understand way better than not taking part in it. And it sounds like
Hmm.
Harry has gained a lot from taking part, not just for himself but also just understanding a lot more. And it's very easy, as we've done here, to ask questions and listen, and it's been very helpful for me, 100%. But taking part of it would be another step on that.
Yeah, because it always starts with understanding and knowing the concept, and and if you really understand it and believe in it, and you will find yourself doing it. Because there's no
Yeah.
way you can do it. No one will starve themselves and and put yourself in hunger just because of it. You need to have a valid reasons.
Mm.
So when you actually appreciate the reasons and really understand it, and really feel it, you will find yourself. Oh, I want to do it. Same. Like I do Christmas, and I love to have. When I have a family, I will do Christmas every year. I will have the
Mhm.
two presents. I will, and I'm a Muslim.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Because it's a really nice practice and vibe, and so why not just to get anything you like from other religions or whatever, anything
Mm.
you
No,
find
completely.
interesting or beneficial, you just because I'm sure all religions, they came from the same thing.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm.
If
Well,
it
that's
brings something good and it makes you happy,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
why
yeah,
not? Just
100%,
do it.
100%.
exactly.
And
It's something
that's
good. What's wrong about having all the family around together, like having a
Yeah.
meal and having
Mhm.
exchange presents? Like, what's
Mhm.
wrong about that?
Well, I mean, it sounds silly, but you do get the very occasional angry Christian who doesn't like that people celebrate Christmas who aren't Christian and who celebrate it for the wrong reasons, which I
Yeah.
think is a right nonsense.
Same.
Yeah, it's a load of rubbish.
This category of people, they are everywhere. It's the same
Mm.
like those restricted Muslims people. Those that what other people call them terrorists,
Mm.
or
Sure.
Muslim Brotherhood, or those people, that extreme people. They don't represent us, but
No.
No.
this category is everywhere in every religion, and we don't like them, and we're not accepting them or their behavior anyway. It's the same as being really how do you call it? When you were really into sport or into a team, like they support
Fanatic.
Yeah, to the extent that you might fight people, and agree. That's not allowed and not accepted.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyone who's extreme in anything is annoying.
Yeah, extreme.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah, completely. And it's interesting, you bring up like the representation of people, and it's interesting, as you say, it's people, Dustin talking about Christians who ban people from like taking part in Christmas who aren't Christian is ridiculous. And it's the same as you have Catholics who completely don't represent what Catholicism is really about, and there's such controversy over Catholicism, and like over the years we know about like child sex scandals and like obviously the troubles in Northern Ireland. That's not representation of Catholicism. Now I'm like agnostic myself, but I understand like with those individuals, it's usually with who we were discussing before, a terrorist, as it were, because I always find that terminology quite what's the word? Well, it's just, it doesn't make sense, because it's easy to call somebody a terrorist who's not, who let's say who's Muslim, but we don't call Catholic terrorists or terrorists of different religions, because extremist is a better word, I guess.
Extremist can be a terrorist.
Exactly. Those extremists of Muslim faiths, from my understanding of it, are completely like misinformed in terms of their understanding of certain hadiths and like parts of like readings that are just not representative of, as you say, most people who are Muslim.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's, because terrorists, it comes from people that put terror in people, like they threaten people. It's not just about weapons and explosions. It's if you're really extremist and you come to me and very aggressive and I'm actually afraid of you and scared, you are a terrorist.
Well, terror. That's what the word means. You're terrifying people.
You don't have to put a weapon or gun in my face. You've been a terrorist just by being aggressive and loud and
it's interesting, isn't it? Like they've recently, well, not recently, but we're talking maybe 5 years ago, there was that MP who got killed by a man who was like screaming Britain first, and he was called mentally ill rather than a terrorist. But what he wanted to achieve was exactly the same as somebody who we call, that man was a terrorist. And the difference was that that person was from the UK, white, and born here. And that they were like, oh no, he's just like, he's mentally ill, he's not a terrorist. It's like, I would argue that guy was definitely a terrorist, because as you say, he was an extremist who was preaching, trying to get terror tactics.
Exactly. It's all politics, and it's all about what they want us to hear, what they want us to say. But we shouldn't get them, make them put ideas in our heads, or it can get us, I say what I think about people, freely by seeing what they do to me. Without, I don't have to listen to people on like in politics. You don't have to tell me who is that person or how I can treat him or whatever, or just generalized ideas about people, or it's just not right, and it's all politics. And some people listen to that, but I think we shouldn't listen to that, and especially if you are well educated, like, come on. It doesn't work like that, and it all works for their agendas. It's not they're not doing that for us. They want specific things, and they want us to think about specific people in a different way that helps them and helps their agendas.
I completely
agree. We are not benefiting anything from that.
No. We live in like I feel very lucky that I get to live and have a conversation like this where we can talk about Ramadan and also the experience of people who aren't Muslim taking part. And I think more people should, actually, because we live in a multicultural society, and that's what's great about it. We can take part in that. We can celebrate Christmas. We can celebrate Ramadan. We can take part in multiple celebrations, and that's what's great. I think we should all celebrate it more.
Yeah, exactly. Just like it's just it has to be a practice, I guess. And you don't have to do the whole month, 2 weeks, one week. Whatever you like. There is no rules. Like I'm not gonna judge you if you do. I fasted one day, was great, and that's it. No, that's amazing. One day is amazing. Well done.
Yeah.
But 2 days, perfect. More than that, amazing. But you do whatever you want. You don't have to do the whole month. One day is fine. 2 days, it's a preference. Like it's up to you. And whatever you do, you are appreciated and respected, and and I'm sure you're gonna benefit from as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a very positive sentiment as well. That it's encouraged and something that you'd be what's the word I'm looking for? Not just encouraged, but happy to see.
Yeah, exactly. And it I would say it's makes us all like I don't know closer, like and
brings us together.
Yeah, brings us together. Exactly. Exactly.
On a funnier note.
Yeah, it did go dark there, didn't it? We started talking about it went very serious.
So, on a funnier note, Ahmed, you had a date recently, right, and had to experience the more challenging aspects of Ramadan.
Oh, I want to talk about that. I thought I'm gonna make my family hear that.
Oh man, okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it.
Chat. I'm sure Dustin meant challenging as in ordering dinner together. That's what
yes, of course.
It was super hard to order dinner together.
Let's leave it there until I see the response.
It's done. It was just an awkward dinner, and it was done. It was a really awkward dinner, and it was funny.
Yeah, when I had to, you just watch people walk, eat.
Yeah. You were watching her eat, and it was just awkward. That's the challenge.
Would you like to go out for dinner, but only order one meal for you?
Yeah. And I would like to watch you eat it. That's all it is.
Your enjoyment is for me. It's food for me.
I don't know who that's worse for. Who is that worse for? The person having to be watched whilst they eat, or the person having to watch? I don't know.
I don't like people. I find myself very self-conscious when I eat because I sometimes worry that I'm quite loud. I kind of think to myself, it's like ASMR videos where somebody's going, and you're like, I sometimes think, do I sound like that? So I imagine if somebody was watching me eat, they'd be like, God, you are so loud. Can you just shut up? So I think it would be worse.
One of the most, annoying noise I've heard in my life.
We should never eat together then.
No, it's not just in general. There is specific, chewing sound. Like I don't know. Literally, there is one person that at work. I'm not gonna say name.
It's this person. Name's Louise, and I hate you.
Louise, if you're listening, I wish you were dead.
Yeah, one person always eats, in the mess, and when he eats, I feel like I'm next to a hamster eating. Like literally, I always had to leave.
They're gonna know. They're gonna know because they are now gonna sit and listen to this and go, "Oh yeah, he always leaves. He always leaves."
If someone gets it, it's for humanity. It's so annoying, man. It's so annoying. Like I can't stand it. Like, and when I'm fasting as well, so you're eating, you're making a very noisy, annoying noise, and he gets me. Like I'm
so we know
we've narrowed it down. It's a he. We both figured out it's a he.
Playing detective. Yeah.
It's a he. And we work together on a very specific shift.
For me, I don't mind people eating or drinking or having coffee around me because it happens all the time at work. And they always like, do you want a coffee? I was like, sorry, I'm fasting. We're like, so sorry. I'm so
sorry.
I did that in class, didn't I, Ahmed? Because when we're doing the class or when we're doing a private session, I'm so used to at the end of the round saying, nice one, go get a drink. Go have a drink. And everyone goes and have a drink, and Ahmed's just looking at me like, you dickhead.
Yeah, just give,
Stop reminding me.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
that's fine. I don't mind it, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
you know, I would say like I'm like in control. Like you know, if you're doing it, those small things, of course, it's not gonna like make me like,
Yeah.
I want to drink, I want to eat. Like it's fine.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can manage seeing people eat to drink. It's part of living here. Actually, it's something that you have to accept,
Do
and
you,
I'm happy with it. It's not bothering me at all.
now
Yeah.
that you've said that, I've just thought. Now this may be a loaded question again because you might go again. If I'm overstepping, you
Yeah.
can tell me to fuck off. But if has anybody, and I want specific names, has anybody said anything to you that you were like, actually, that's a bit of a weird question about this, and I don't want to like answer it. Has anybody like said anything to you whilst you've been fasting? So you're like, as you say, you're very like fine with people drinking or eating around you. But has anybody been weird about you fasting, and you've been like, that's
No,
strange?
no. I think now 2021, like people
Hmm.
have like. So obviously, I work in a hospital. People that well educated there, so they all know about
You'd
Ramadan.
hope.
There is no way you never came across a Muslim guy like you, they all know about Ramadan and fasting. And even outside work, I've never met someone who's like, "What's Ramadan? What do you mean?"
Hmm.
It's I think people know about it. I mean, or I've been lucky, you know. So people always they always respect. They always say, "I really respect for what you're doing. I don't know how you're doing it, but like, chapeau, you're doing a great job."
Mm.
And they always say, as I told you, when they're like eating or drinking in front of me, they always say like, "Do you mind?" or "I'm really sorry," but I was like, "No, no, it's okay. Like, don't move anywhere. Like, it's fine. I'm fine with it."
Mhm.
Like people really very understanding, very understanding.
You may have
That's good.
just
And makes
insulted
me
a
feel
large portion of our audience for this episode by saying at the hospital they're all educated. They've all heard of it. I never get anyone who hasn't heard of it. And people listening to this episode, oh, Ramadan, I'd like to learn more about Ramadan. I don't know what that is. And
I,
Ahmed's just
I
laying
just,
into him.
I might be lucky. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think it also depends where you go, doesn't it? As you said
yeah,
before,
exactly. Yeah, of
in
course.
London, it's just
Yeah.
way more like it's just way more known and accepted around here. Like, because everybody I know, I can't think of like a day in London where you wouldn't come into contact with somebody who's like fasting. I think that's just
Yeah.
not possible. But I think maybe it is, as you say, I think it's not just at your hospital. I think just across the board. I think you just see a lot of sports, high profile sportsmen and women are now fasting as well. Like you hear all the time. I'm not like the biggest football fan, mainly because I do support Tottenham and we're rubbish. But we're like there's so many players now that you're constantly hearing about who are fasting, and like I think culturally things are changing in terms of like recently. I think there's been a
Yeah,
lot of
and
like
Premier
games that have
League,
broken.
yeah,
Yeah,
in the Leicester game,
yeah, yeah.
they
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
there were two Nigerian players, Muslims, and they had to actually they stopped the game for a few minutes for them to grab a drink when the time came, like halfway,
Yeah.
never, and it was really good. It was really,
Nice.
yeah, these things like makes you feel, like
Accepted.
accepted and heard, and you feel like I belong here.
Mm,
I don't feel
Nice.
I'm a foreigner or a tourist, or
that's nice.
I belong here, and
That's nice.
I'm not, I'm actually happy here.
That's really nice.
That's
That's
nice,
that's
man.
that's what you people should want to hear. I think unfortunately wherever we go, and our society has these problems too. And talking of football, that has a really serious problem with racism. But it's
Yeah.
good that across the board, generally, people feel more accepted, and that's what you want, isn't it? You want that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, when people ask me, "Oh, how do you manage?" Like, when you're Muslim and you're fasting, and how do you manage in a Western country? I would say, fine. People
Mm-hmm.
here appreciate what I'm doing. People here actually help me. So let's say if I'm working and starting feeling like dizzy or whatever because of fasting, they will send me home.
Mm-hmm.
They will
Mm-hmm.
ask about me. How are you? How are you doing? they appreciate, and understand, and and actually and taking in consideration. And if you read in the NHS website about Ramadan and all these things, there is a big thing there that actually tells people, like, like, take things in consideration. If you need to leave, you take it Ramadan, it's fine. If you need to adjust your working hours or whatever, like, it's, and makes you like feel like, actually, like, these things even doesn't, I don't feel that appreciated back home. Like, yeah, because obviously all people, it's normal there, but I mean, I feel better here, or appreciated, or unique. I feel like, you know what I mean. I feel I'm
Heard?
heard, but I'm different in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unique rather than
Unique.
abnormal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
good.
it's really it's the only thing that obviously nobody can do anything about it, is having a family around and stuff, like,
Sure.
this. But with having friends around and having people, and it's almost there. It's not far, because no one can replace your parents, of course, or your family.
Yeah, of course.
You can have similar or near experience.
Mhm.
Friends are the family you choose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, like, and to be honest, I'm compared to, like, my first year here to this year, I feel more welcomed
Mm.
in this country, by having more friends, not just in the hostel, but outside the hostel, and like, doing this now and talking about Ramadan and all these things, and I just feel more, you know, more like home.
Mm. That's
That's
good.
nice, man. It's really nice. The only thing I have an issue with is Ian pretending to like football just to be accepted by British men. Because I know you don't like
You
football.
don't
Why
like
are you
football as
lying?
well, Dustin.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
I
My
hate
like
football.
of
Yeah,
my like my like of football has grown, I guess,
You're
due to.
lying. Why are
Hear
you
me out. Hear me
lying?
out. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Hear me out. Hear me out. I will explain. This is going to be a story in itself.
okay.
I didn't like football, okay, and I didn't find it enjoyable to watch, okay, but a lot of my friends do enjoy football, and my godfather in particular, he enjoys football and enjoys Spurs. So when I came to London, that became more of a common thing that we would do together. We would go and watch
Of
Spurs
course,
games.
Spursy game, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Peer
where
pressure.
that peer pressure from family and entertainment together. It was time we spent together. But I would say I think it generally across the board, like, I don't watch football that often, and particularly now, I've actually grown quite a disdain, I guess, for football, because I don't know. We're not going to talk about football. This is not a football episode, and it's not a football podcast. But I've grown a lot of disdain for it, just of how corrupt and ridiculous it is. So yeah, no, I've gone back to hating football. So you'll be happy to say
Full
know
circle.
that it's a full circle. We've come round. Time is cyclical. I've come back, and I now just hate football again. I don't really watch it, and I don't really care.
Fantastic.
But I still like rugby, and mixed martial arts is still my top one that I enjoy the most. But
Nice.
I enjoy rugby a lot more.
This is something I'm really happy that I joined. Really,
Yeah, no, it's great.
it's great, man. It's really great. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's for me, like, as Dustin knows, and as he was saying, I never really liked football, but I really liked rugby. Like, I always watched rugby, and that's how me and Dustin started. Yeah, me and Dustin started training because of that, really, wasn't it? Like, I wanted to get in better shape to play rugby. But
Yeah, and then I brought you over to the dark side.
You were like, fuck rugby. You should watch it. You should do this. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this is a lot better. I way prefer this. Because I was never really that good at rugby, actually. I think I was a bit shit. And then I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, actually, I won't say that I'm really good at it. I'm sure people
You're good at it, man. You're good
well,
jiu-jitsu.
I don't want to assume. I would never assume. I know my coach Lorenzo sometimes listens to this, so I'm not going to go, I'm really good at this, because he might go, yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Ian, you told me that you whooped Lorenzo.
No,
you specifically said to me
that is
that you have him on a plate every session.
That has never happened. I don't actually think I've rolled with him. Like, I don't think that's actually happened. I don't think
I've been lying, because you said every session you smash him sideways. You said you're getting flying arm bars. You said you did the Bass Rotten body crunch to Lorenzo.
So
I remember.
Just remind me. How do you guys know each other?
Oh, we went to university together.
Yeah, and we lived together for about a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half we lived together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mates then.
Yeah. We go way back, man. Way back, man. I just want to also clarify, I never did say that. That never happened.
I was just trying to get him whooped by his coach.
Do you know what? I can't wait to get back. It's been like a year and a half. So, well, not a year.
How long have you been in London?
Almost 3 years, I think. 3-ish years. Yeah.
And that's enough.
Why did you move to London?
Sorry?
Why did you move to London?
I guess like my major draw was because my partner, she lives down here, and I lived in York for like since I started studying, so that's 5 years. I was basically there, and yeah, I think some people really like York, and I'm never going to be like York's terrible. It's a lovely place, and it's like so quiet. But for me, the quietness was kind of like something I didn't like. I wanted to go out.
Like the London. You prefer
London?
I
like going out before COVID. I liked being able to go out to do anything you wanted. Like I liked that I could go to, my jiu-jitsu class. I could go see a musical. I could go see like films in the IMAX. I could do whatever I wanted before COVID. York though, like I loved as well, but for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like it's different. It's different. And I would never be like York's terrible. I think York's a lovely place, and it has great people like yourselves. But York was London was just a draw because I wanted to live in that high pace. It's my flatmate. In fairness to him, he really doesn't like it. He thinks the fast pacedness is just like a bit too much and a bit like a lot. So I don't think he's going to be staying. But for me, it's like I can't say. I know Dustin just said it. That's enough, but I don't think it is. I love it. I love it.
But I'm just not a city person.
Yeah, I it's different. Like I really 1 year ago, I thought I'm gonna just go 1 year in London, just live the life. Like, it's very different socially, and 1 year, like live my life. Not bothered about exams or anything. Just go to work, enjoy work, finish work, and go out. And. But then I realized it's I don't know, it might be too old for that, or
you are pretty old.
Yeah, I'm old.
How old are you now? I feel like you're ancient. What's going on?
What are you, Ahmed? 41, 42?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
are we being serious? I don't know. How old is everybody here?
Yeah, I can't remember. How old are you, Dustin? Are you like 24?
I'm 27. 27.
Really? I thought your brain is like 24.
I thought you were going to say I look 24, and I was ready for that.
Oh man, what a dick!
You can be 24 easy. Yeah,
I mean that's okay. 24 is still a graduate. That's all right.
I get told I look 30 something, so I'd rather be younger. I keep getting told I look like I'm 30.
How old are you? Are you probably same age then?
Yeah, I'm 27.
Okay, so I am I'm like grandpa here.
So you are 40? You're 40?
I don't know if you've seen me or not.
I have seen a photo of you. I wouldn't say you're 40.
40.
What? What? You're definitely not 40.
Yeah, of course. I don't even look my age.
I don't know what age you are. I'm so confused.
Mate, I can't actually remember. I can't actually remember.
I don't know what's happened.
Take a guess. Like
32.
Oh man, you hurt me now.
Is that too old? I'm only saying that because Dustin said 40, so now I'm like, I don't want to go too
low.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 31 next week.
Okay,
But,
all right, okay.
I don't look 30.
No, you don't. I was going to say my actual choice was 28, but because Dustin said 40, I was like, I've got to go somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Dustin, he just hates how young I look.
It's probably because you're so pale that you look a bit older at the moment, Ahmed.
I'm pale.
Yeah, you're pale at the moment. You're
What
a bit pasty.
I'm very proud, man.
You're pastier than me.
What?
And I seen you earlier. You're pasty. You need to get on the sunbed.
I'm going back home in 2 weeks, man, and you will be so jealous in how tanned I am.
We'll see, man. I'm going to get on the sunbed
looking
every day.
stunning. You'll go on the sunbeds every day.
Every day. I will risk that melanoma.
I was going to say, is that worth it?
Even if you sleep in the oven, you're not gonna...
Sleep in that? Oh yeah, the classic tanning oven.
Squeeze you in. Get in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be moist and tender. I want to be brown.
We have to baste you every so often.
If you use a sunbed for a month every day, you're not gonna even be as tanned as I am now.
How much do you think them kebab skewer turners are? I could get one of those. just slowly spin.
You mean have you seen those, in the desert, I can't remember, like in the Gulf area when they put the whole lamb in that skewer, big metal skewer, and they just roll him over the fire,
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah,
I need one of those.
Yeah, exactly. So we can put you on one of those. You will just, lock your legs and arms, and just, and just bring you there, and just.
We'll baste you in your own juices.
Yeah.
Just like every now and then.
Jesus. what juices? Which Jesus? Oh no, you can baste me in what is it that isn't hummus?
Tahini.
You can cover me in tahini paste.
Yeah. Tahini goes the best with grilled meat. Yeah.
Mate, this is sounding good. You're gonna look good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look good and smell like sweet chili.
You can use tahini as a moisturizer.
Oh god.
Can you?
No. Of course you can't.
No.
Why would you do that?
Of course you can.
I'm not gonna give you tahini unless you swear you're not gonna put it in your skin.
Rub it in.
Rubbing sweet chili tahini all around my eyes.
Yeah, I bet when I put videos of you putting tahini like on a steak.
Ahmed, you give it to him. And he's like, oh, so do I leave this on overnight? Is that what I do?
Yeah, well, you get body butter. Why not body tahini?
I
Put it on there like a paste.
but I'm sure Reggie will be all over you.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
I was gonna say. I know it's really late into the episode, but can you guys hear Reggie or not? He's in the room.
No.
Hang on. If
No,
I'm silent,
I
Not
can't
at all.
do anything.
So we've been recording for about an hour and 20 minutes, and for an hour and 20 minutes, he has been going to town on his cheese.
Really?
Just right next to me.
No.
He's got. We get him this it's like rock solid yak's cheese. It's like a bone, and he's
Oh,
obsessed
the
with
one,
it.
the one I've seen, the one you showed me before.
Yeah, so anytime we need him to behave, or be quiet or whatever, we give him this cheese. But then once I was in this really quiet room to record this episode, my God, he's loud. So it must just be the type of the dynamic microphone that I'm using that you can't hear him. But I've just been sitting here, and for an hour and 20 minutes, he's right beside me, crunching and crunching on this cheese.
That's amazing. That's interesting.
Yeah. These microphones are great. Like I've recorded with my friend, and he will be talking behind me, and the microphone won't pick it up. Like it just won't pick it up.
So what microphone are you talking about?
We've got dynamic microphones, haven't we? Yeah. So they
Yeah.
only pick up what's in a certain circumference. So it
This
won't
is a
pick up.
professional show, Ahmed.
Yeah. What do you think we are? Amateurs.
Yeah. I am. No, I'm just speaking in through the laptop. The speaker by.
That's not bad though. The sound quality's not bad on that. It's better than mine.
We'll see,
Mine was
won't we?
terrible.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's true. It's
When we
actually
started with them condenser mics, they weren't great.
oh God, they were terrible. They were really, really bad. Yeah, no, but we picked up these dynamic ones, and they're great. They sound really good. Yeah, really good. That's why I sound so professional. That's when you said I sound like a radio presenter. It's because of these microphones.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I actually, when I'm not on this, I sound awful. I have the worst voice in the world.
So, but where are you from originally? Because obviously you have a very different accent from Dustin. Like.
That's quite not a long question answer, but like I was born in Hastings, but I grew up through like the south to Midlands to north. So like I've picked up sort of a generic English accent rather than specific.
Your accent is my favorite. Like
what a charmer! You can come back, Ahmed. You can come back on.
I can understand fully. You know, but with Dustin, like you should see us. Like like today, it was like, what did you say? What did you say today, Dustin? Like it hurts me, and that's what I thought he said it hurts me.
Because I said that hurts, mate. Didn't I? Well, that's hard, mate. Or something like that. And you didn't know if I was saying me or mate. Yeah.
I was like, mate. Okay.
I don't mind the way you talk, Dustin. I just want to make that clear. I don't think you talk terribly.
Ahmed, when you first introduced yourself to me, how do you say your nickname?
My nickname, Belter.
Yeah, Belter.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I say Belter.
Yeah, Belter.
Yeah,
Belter.
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 Belter. Belter.
Belter.
There is a turn you do in, like as if you're doing a roll with your tongue. I cannot get it, like Belter.
It's a W. It's not an L. Belter. And there's no T either. Belter.
We should do an episode about accents.
I was about to say this is turning into a different episode where we're just talking about our accents.
Bill, what was the word we were laughing at? It was idea, and you were saying they don't rhyme, and I said they do.
Idea
and I can't remember. But you say idea, like idea, and not fear or something. I can't remember.
It was like one to go high and one to go down, like idea, and what is it?
I can't remember now. That's annoying because you were doing the hand gestures. You were pointing at the sky for idea and pointing at the ground. I don't know.
Exactly.
It was just funny to me how you turn idea into like 3 syllables. Idea.
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 For anybody listening, they're going to be like, what the hell are we talking about? What the fuck are these people talking about?
It's something you meet every day. I'm sure you're going to meet my accent every day. I meet your accent every day.
Here's a question for you too, right? And this is really random, but we're talking about saying a word. Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean?
Caribbean.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Come on, man! It's Caribbean. Stop.
Because my friend from.
I know, I can do both actually, but because I'm aware now, I'm conscious.
I've put you on the spot. What do you say?
I want to say it by myself and see how it's gonna be.
Say it in your head. Say it in your head like you would, and then
Pirates of the Caribbean.
So my friend from the Caribbean says Caribbean. So should we say it's Caribbean? Because he's from no.
I don't know how they say. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the same with anything. Like in Spain, they say like España or whatever, and Mexico is Mexico. Should we say all of that?
IKEA, it's not IKEA in Sweden.
I was about to say, did you say IKEA? For a minute, I was like, did he just say IKEA?
if you're from IKEA,
you don't say IKEA.
The ancient Ikeans don't say IKEA.
What is that? Oh no, I'm not following you now. What's an IKEA?
Well, because we were talking about countries, and you said in IKEA.
No,
like it was a country.
In Mexico.
I said like IKEA, the Sweden brand. We say IKEA, but in Sweden they don't say IKEA. I can't remember how they say it.
IKEA.
IKEA. What is it?
I don't know. IKEA. I don't know.
IKEA or something like that. It's
that's what they say on the advert. IKEA.
Yeah, it's like Heineken and Heineken. It's like, so
Just-
it's good. It's good to know. And,
It's just an interesting question because I do sometimes say Caribbean, and my dad was like, "Don't. It's not the Caribbean. It's Caribbean."
Yeah. I just like that you said we're going to come across your accent every day, and I don't. You can't have lived in York for long then.
I think I come across your accent every day.
You're the first Egyptian I think I may have ever met. Well, knowing that they were Egyptian.
What do you mean?
What do you
In
mean?
York,
I
there's not many
don't think
people-
I've ever met an Egyptian before. I think you're the
in
first
York,
person
in
I've
York,
met.
it's like
Oh,
very-
really?
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, maybe I did, but I didn't know they were Egyptian. You're the first person that I've known.
But okay, have you spoken to Ahmed, my housemate?
I haven't. No.
Ah, okay. So there is a typical Egyptian accent. Like, you cannot miss. Typical one. I don't have it, but there is a typical one. I'm gonna, if I find like a video or something, I'm gonna send it to you. This is
please.
a proper Egyptian accent. Okay. But obviously, I don't have the proper one.
You have a special one.
I don't know. I don't have a specific one because I've been told I have a French one. I've been told I have a Spanish one.
French.
It's yeah. Like, I don't know. In some words, you can tell.
I don't think the person who said that has been to France.
No.
Yeah,
but
You do not sound French.
No, I've been told by many people actually.
What?
And if I and if I'm gonna spot how many people actually try to guess my accent, I would say majority was French.
No, come on.
Why or how? But some words.
I don't know. I guess maybe if we were talking about the North African French community there, perhaps.
Yes,
But
maybe.
that's a very specific group
Very specific.
that I'd have to know. I'd have to have met.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
Algerian, or they have a very they speak French, so they have a French accent, I guess. But maybe. But I cannot. You cannot spot my accent like.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't have said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to place.
I picked up stuff. I picked obviously some, Northern Yorkshire things, and I think they like there's a taste, northern taste in my accent, I guess, because obviously I've been living here since I came to this country, so. So you can tell that I lived in the south before, but for a few months, not years, So like you say, I say Hoover. I don't say, the other one.
What's the alternative to Hoover?
The vacuum machine.
Oh, vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Vacuum cleaner or something.
Yeah.
I like vacuum machine though.
I like vacuum machine also.
Yeah, but I pick what I've been listening to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
Nah, it's a Hoover, man. Yeah, too right.
Yeah.
Hoover.
I call it Hoover.
But it's interesting, and accents. Very interesting topic. I love accents, and I'm so bad at picking stuff, accents and languages, and But I wish I improve myself in it because I'm really interested in it. Like I love languages and accents so much. Very
Surprisingly, I have been mistaken for Australian numerous times, and
That's happened to me as well.
This happened to you, Ian?
Yeah, I was. I went
Insane.
to a
I'm
car.
not really good in telling the difference between Australian and.
I can't do an Australian accent. I've tried and I can't do it. Also, we're in England, so. Do you know what I mean?
This is a really funny and somewhat embarrassing story, but I went to Carlos Gracie gym when I first came to London, and it's just a bit too far from me to be training at. But I went there for a trial one, and it was fun. There was a guy who I met there who was from New Zealand, and he thought I was Australian, right? So he just was talking to me the whole time, and then he started going, "Oh yeah, you'd know being down there," and I was really confused. I genuinely was really confused. But then I panicked. And I just went with it, and I was like, yeah, no, you know, Australia, it's great, you know, everything's a good place.
you betcha, Cobber.
I was like, oh yeah, mate, it's bloody great down there, you know, it's so good.
Like Jay on In-Betweeners. You betcha, Cobber.
Yeah, all right, mate, all right.
Yeah.
And I just panicked because this guy thought I was Australian. And I was like, oh shit, I best just go with it. And I didn't know what to do afterwards, so I never went back to the gym. That was I never wanted to see him again.
Ian, remember that time when we went out in York and pretended to be French?
Yes, I do remember that.
So,
yeah,
Ahmed. So Ian nor I speak French.
I can't speak a bit French now, but that was a different time.
Yeah, but come on, man. Like at the time, we had enough French to like get by on holiday. Like hello, goodbye.
Yeah.
Not much beyond that.
I could not speak French.
But anyway, so we were out and we met these girls, and then there was like two of them and two of us. We thought, oh, you know, let's go chat to these girls. And the first thing Ian says is, "Hello, this is my friend. He doesn't speak any English." And I was like, "Thanks very much, Ian," because I'm absolutely stumped.
He doesn't. You don't understand the concept of a wingman at all.
I tried my best. I tried my absolute best to play.
You'll be happy to know that I also crashed and burned that night. So
that was a funny evening.
Yeah, I didn't do well either, so it's fine. People listening being like, God, Ian's a piece of shit. No,
it may have been better for you to not speak. Like you may have done better.
Yes, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that didn't go well. I have no regrets though. I would do it again in a bit.
Yeah,
it was funny.
I would do it again. Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. I'd throw you under that bus.
Yeah,
I'd be like, yeah, you can't speak English.
Well, obviously, I could have just said that's a lie. Not only do I speak English, it's actually my first language.
You said this afterwards. You were like, why didn't I just say that?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to play along. I just wanted to play the game. I was like, good move. Like,
I obviously I don't look English, so I can be, can say like I don't speak English. I'm like, I'm lost from, someone put me in a cargo from Africa, like Madagascar or something, and I just found myself in Hull. And and I walk to York, and I'm lost. And
jeez,
it's got really dark again. How did this get so dark?
Yeah, because this is something you should know. I mean, it's shit, shit talk, and silly and dark jokes, and
Oh no, I love a good
dark joke. I can go for 2 hours, about this story, and just see people's response or reactions is interesting. Yeah, so I'm happy to do that, guys. If you want to, just go around and do that and see what.
Do what? I'm very confused.
Reactions. We call people reactions.
We'll do that as a separate piece.
Some people might find it might adopt me. Who knows?
Adopt you.
Adopt? I'm so lost. This podcast is.
I don't.
This has gone really weird. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm lost. I'm really lost. We were talking about Ramadan, and then terrorists, and then Catholics, and then
football and sport and rugby,
and then Dustin couldn't speak English all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on.
I've got cheese flakes on my leg.
Man, this is low sugar in my brain. I'm.
Oh man! Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign we're coming to an end here.
Maybe. Reggie has cheese all around his mouth, and he rested his head on my lap, and now I've got cheese flakes on my leg.
Well.
Nice.
Listeners, how crazy is that, eh? I don't know what's...
Just
we're on the edge here.
That's what's happening here.
Well, that's...
Just checking
we're on the precipice, man. We're on the fucking precipice.
It's about to go down.
This is it. This is
getting
it,
real talk.
Shit's getting real.
But let's say I really enjoyed this episode. Like I didn't think it's gonna be that fun and actually like.
You came on, man, like this is gonna be shit. This is gonna be awful.
You know, I thought it's gonna be fun, but not that fun. Like, really enjoyed it. You know, it's been like what?
Nice.
How many hours now?
140.
You know, I thought it's gonna be like half an hour or something, but I didn't feel the time was so much.
No. I think this is what we do. We just end up chatting about complete.
Yeah,
rubbish.
because Dustin, tell him what I told you in the morning. I thought, you know, I was like prepared.
Oh yeah.
But you know, we're gonna talk about you know, like bullet points like this and this and this, and he was like, no.
Mate.
It doesn't work like that. We're just gonna talk about Ramadan maybe 5 minutes, and then we don't know what is gonna happen.
Mate,
I was like, how come? Like, I was like prepared for a proper, you know, when you go to the, you know, shows and you got like a full a script, and you know, so I was like prepared to talk about the Ramadan and then take it to training Ramadan. And
he was like drawing a flow chart on my wall.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, he had his finger on the wall, like scratching it in. Like, first we'll talk about Ramadan, and then we'll link it over to intermittent fasting. And from there, we can go to this. And I was like,
to make the conversation flow, like, you know, and then to this, and then to this.
I think sometimes when you plan too much, conversations do not flow.
well, that's what I was just about to say. Like, I think, like, oh, we'll make the conversation slow. You know how? Meticulous planning.
I get it now, and I enjoy it more this way.
We tend to come in with like a vague idea of what we'll talk about, and then just end up chatting. Very vague. I've had the only advice I've ever had with this podcast was maybe have a bit more of a structure, which then my response was, but the point is we don't have a structure. That's the point.
We had a structure. We talked a lot about Ramadan in different aspects, and obviously because Ramadan is like a Muslim thing, so we moved not far away to talk about extreme. It's like people are extreme, and you know, so it's not far away actually. It's like a side talk from it, and then the last bit, you know, it's fun.
I don't know what's happened in the last 40 minutes.
Yeah, but most of it was about Ramadan and structure, and you know, like it's and I'm sure people will learn from it. So it's always good to have a structure in, not like a fine structure, not like hard structure, like this episode, you know, it's Ramadan. It's called Ramadan. So people, when they scroll down through the 8 episodes, you got 8 episodes now. So when they scroll down, they can say, this is episode about Ramadan. So this is a structure we mean. That episode has a name. You know, it's not just a random episode. It has a name. We're going to start talking about this. We might drift away and come back again, or drift away. But there is a bit about Ramadan, and even if it's half an hour out of the hour and 40 minutes, I think the 30 minutes is good. 30 minutes that people will learn from it, and it's good enough. People might just listen to it and turn off. People might just carry on and, you know, just laugh with us. Fine, you know. But it's a good, fine structure, not like a proper. You know, like
that's how we do it.
I feel really bad now because I had zero intention of naming this episode Ramadan.
You're gonna have to. No, you're gonna have to.
I think I'll have to.
But Ramadan a lot. No, it's
but Ahmed, I don't know if you've seen the episodes of our other episode of the titles of our other episodes. For example, Fuck It, We'll Do It Live, Electric Boogaloo, Sorry Steve, Fuck John Jones. Just because the fucking bald dude said it. You're going to have a good time or die, and fucking weirdo doing weird shit.
Comes here, episode 8, Ramadan, so I thought this is going to be the name.
You've made the comment. No,
it may have to be Ramadan dash something else.
Call it whatever, but put Ramadan.
I think it should be Ramadan / tahini. Tahini face.
Tahini.
Yeah.
Tahini-based Ramadan.
Yeah,
I was thinking like tahini moisturizer.
Yeah.
Or we'll see.
I mean, this is very post-production stuff. I don't
think we need to make this decision now.
This is like, why are we talking about this?
I like the name you said. It's actually catchy names,
This is very. This is seriously production.
Well,
This is
what I was just thinking is obviously this is quite suspenseful for us not knowing, but obviously by the time I post this, we will have a name, so the listeners will feel zero suspense from this part of the conversation. They'll just be like, they've already named it.
Oh, God.
What are they talking about? It's called Ramadan, or it's called.
I will leave you to your imagination. Put a nice title in, but put Ramadan in it so people know that we talk about Ramadan. But put, without swearing, I'd say. But yeah,
just the advice: don't have the swearing. This is so like post production. This doesn't happen now. This can happen after.
That's only the second piece of advice I've been given about this podcast.
Yeah, same.
The first
swearing.
The first was no one listens. Stop making it. So
I thought you were going to say the first was fire Ian. Get rid of it.
Fire Ian. Just don't talk to anyone.
Yeah, just silence. Welcome to the podcast.
Now that's how you make a conversation flow. Remove the second person.
Yeah, talk to the wall.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna come up with a name.
It'll be me. It'll be me talking to Reggie. No, leave it. Good boy. Come here.
Yeah. The last 15 minutes of this podcast has literally been a post-production meeting of what to call this podcast. It's literally not been anything to do with it other than what to do with it after.
Yeah, we could have ended it and started our own Facebook chat or something. You know,
this is we ended.
Yeah.
You said how nice it was to be here, and that should have been the end. And instead, it's gone for 15 minutes about what we're going to call it, and also the structure of it.
So the way I edit this episode is I'm going to put it on this thing called Audacity. So that's how I tend to cut the episodes together. And just so you guys are aware, I need to include the intro, also the Yokow advert, which people hear at the start.
The time, we got to make sure the times are in sync as well. You know, you got to do that. And the volumes, make sure they're.
Oh yeah. And I normally fade one of us left and one right, so it sounds more like a conversation.
What are you going to do this time? As there's three of us.
I just leave him in the middle.
Yeah,
little Phil in the middle.
It's like in the background, you know.
So we're just chatting at him from both sides. You're shouting in his left ear, and I'm shouting in his right ear. Just berating him.
This is terrible. This is actually terrible podcasting. This is just nonsense.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure.
Ahmed's still trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, I have to go anyway because I have to prepare my food and.
Yeah.
The point of this episode was this.
Yeah, so I'm having a little barbecue party on my own.
Lovely. That sounds great.
And but it was lovely chatting to you two.
It was great. It was really fun.
I'm happy to do it anytime, whenever.
Yes, we'd love to have you back on. We'd love to have you back on.
Please. Yeah.
We try and keep it better structured than this.
You transitioned so quickly from "I had a nice time, thank you" to "No, I have to leave."
It went from "This was great"
I have to leave. Like literally, I have to leave.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna eat.
I've had enough.
Please allow me to go. Thank you.
Because I love you guys, but I love food.
Oh, right. Okay.
God.
So thank you so much, Bill.
Yes,
for coming
thank
on the
you so
episode.
much. It's been great.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It was enlightening.
Do you know? Are you gonna send me the money for the episode, or
Again, Ahmed, this is post-production.
This is so post-production.
We will discuss the finances on the...
Oh, sorry, first time.
First time. Didn't know how it worked. Sorry.
Ahmed, if you could just tell me your bank details quickly.
Honestly, this last 20 minutes have been awful.
Oh, God.
I just need your bank account details and your sort
This is what Dustin told me.
And the 3 digits on the back.
This is what the vibe. I thought the vibe is gonna be, be yourself and just talk. So I'm myself, and this is me.
We've been ourselves for the last 20 minutes. Look where it's got us.
And,
God.
Right, that should that'll be the end.
That is it. That is it.
Let's
That's
round
it.
up.
This is the end.
Thank
Goodbye,
you,
everybody.
thank you.
I'm
Ahmed.
gonna put my phone number next, and it's not good.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. It's been great. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Dustin, and thank me too. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks, everyone.
Fuck off.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Combat Casuals podcast.
To get involved with the Ultimate Fighting conversation, email us at combatcasuals@outlook.com.
We can answer your questions in our next podcast.
Or maybe even have you on the show.
Be sure to follow, subscribe, leave us a review, or support us however you can.
Thank you to Me Against the World for our theme music.
Catch you next time.